Hi, my name is Simone and I'm the Zen Mommy. I help people with spiritual awakening and navigating your ascension. And today, I wanted to talk about what it's like to be in a soulmate relationship. So, I met my soulmate. Um, I started this YouTube channel. I was single. I was just getting out of something that was really bad. And, I started to open up to all the spirituality and learn that, about twin flames and soulmates and I always believed in a soulmate since I was young. It was something that I knew I was destined to meet. Like from a young child, I knew there was someone for me and I was destined to meet them. I gave up and when I went to church because the church only allowed us to date within the church and none of them I knew wasn't my soulmate, let alone attractive. But I I believed one always existed. I believed that there was someone here that was meant just for me. And so, I started getting into the law of attraction. That's not what I started off doing. I wanted to talk about spirituality, but spirituality and energy and vibrational matching is all law of attraction. So I started to get into that. And I had decided I wanted to manifest a soulmate. And then I did, and it was like a miracle. Like a miracle. I literally wrote this list. Everything was on the list. And it was amazing. The connection is amazing. We've taken ayahuasca together. We saw our past lives. We've been together before this reality, and in many different realities, we've been together. And it was all laid out to us how we were meant to meet here. And even our age difference, all of that, we saw that everything that we both went through in our lives was leading up to us finding each other again. And it's beautiful, you know. It is so healing to be with somebody that connects with you on a soul level like that. And it's the best experience ever. But there's a part of the experience I want to share about today. The part that, well, when you meet your soulmate, a relationship is a reflection of you. It's like a mirror reflection. Everything about you reflects back to you when you're with that person, when you're cohabiting and co creating with them. And I started to realize some harsh realizations about myself in this reflection. I started to see that I had a history of abusive, toxic relationships. And I started to realize a really dark part of me. And the darkness was that deep down, I wanted someone to hurt me. I wanted someone to treat me bad, be toxic towards me. And I couldn't realize it. My being with a soulmate ended up exposing this within me. And I this realization, this darkness that came out from this reflection, it scared me. I couldn't believe that like I was somewhat of a masochist. And I started to see how much damage I had and how much healing I needed. I literally had this man who was just wanting to support me and be loving. And the chemistry is wow amazing. But I was pushing him away. Like I was pushing him away. I kept trying to find excuses to push him away. I kept trying to find reasons to to push him away, to battle. And I started to think that, I got to a point where I almost thought that I was too damaged to to handle him. I started being in fear that I would push him away, really push him away. And, it came down to me realizing why I started to think, I want to be hurt. I want to feel pain. I want somebody to destroy me. And I'm like, why? Why am I wanting that? Why am I pushing a good man away who's really willing to be a good man and be here for me? And it took some time, it took some meditation, and I started to go back down into the shadow. And the shadow exposed something to me when I was a little girl. I had to go to foster care. My birth mother, she didn't want me. She didn't fight for me. And, the foster people took us away. And so when I was a little girl, right before they took us away, I asked my mom, I said, are you afraid of dying? And she said, no, I'm not going to die. And I'm like, how is that possible? And she's all, I'm going to kill myself before that happens. And then I started crying and I'm like, please don't kill yourself. What about me? She said, don't worry. I'm going to take you with me. And I was like 10 years old. And she said, I'll take you and your brother with me and we'll go together. And it turned into a very dark conversation. I'm not going to get any deeper than that. And so a few weeks later, a social worker arrived at my school and took me away from my mother. Now, besides that, my mother took care of me and stuff. And I was confused. See, with a child, and a lot of us that have these issues, it goes back to childhood. As a child, we love our parents. That is the only person we know. They're our guardian angel. They're supposed to guard us and take care of us and love us. And that's the only thing we expect. See, we came from a place where we don't know these low vibrations like hatred and this negative stuff. So we're only expecting love from our parents. So when they treat us bad, we also associate that with love. And so I remember this is the thing that broke me is I was begging my social worker for a visit. It had been 6 months. And when I finally saw my mom, I was like, Mom, do you miss me? And she said, I missed the welfare check. Broke my heart. But still, I still love my mom. I wanted to go. I hoped that she would get her act together and save me one day and be there for my graduation and be there for when I first have a child and be there for my wedding day. And I had all of these fantasies. And technically I was chasing someone who didn't love me, And every relationship was the same thing. I was chasing someone who didn't love me. The more abusive they was, the more pain I felt. Even though I hated being in pain, there was something in me that really wanted that. See, this is how the shadow manifests when it's unchecked, when it's undealt with from things that we went through in the past. Instead of just being angry, because I couldn't, being angry and understanding that it was okay to feel hurt, that it wasn't my fault that these things happened, I ignored those and threw it in the shadow. And the shadow kind of like, the shadow kind of gets, I don't want to say upset, but it doesn't like not being able to express itself. So it starts to manifest as a situation. So for me, it was manifesting as one toxic relationship after another. And it got so bad, like I literally was so far off with how I was allowing someone to treat me. And then I meet my soulmate, who is an angel. And I couldn't understand why I was pushing him away. And it started to hit me. And, that last year is what I was going through this. And I believe that took a major part of why I was feeling off last year as far as, I felt like I kind of fell off my path, my vibration for a while. It's because this stuff was coming up. This stuff from that I didn't even know. I didn't know that I wanted that. I wanted that. And it's hard to even admit it. I didn't know. And this is what I mean, that mirror reflection. A relationship completely exposes you. And this is kind of why, like, I never got that close to anyone. Like, I knew that these people were toxic, and I knew that they didn't really want me, and I knew those things. And, and I guess it scared me to see that about myself. And then I saw it about myself. Then I had to figure out an action plan on how to heal this in me. That was very scary because I was just like, I want a toxic person, I want someone to hurt me, and how do I get past that? How do I get rid of that desire, like that deep subconscious desire? And it would be times where I was fighting, not pushing him away, like, he would just want to be open and me to talk about what's going on with me. And me, I would want to stay to myself and not share because that's what I was used to. I was used to being treated bad and the guy not giving a damn how I felt, if I was in tears. And this is like a total opposite situation. Like, he's there. Not only that, he's an empath. He's intuitive. He knows everything about me almost before I know I'm feeling it. And when I'm hurting, he's hurting. And when I'm feeling good, he's feeling good. Like, it affects him so strongly. I started to see I got to get my act together. Like, my reflection is really bouncing off of him. And that's what I wanted to share. It's just like, it's a healing journey meeting your soulmate. And I love him to death. And I had to literally, set intentions and even do a ritual. And I had to, I basically, said out loud, I need to break the contract. Whatever contract where I agreed that I like pain, or I agreed that I want to be hurt, or whatever that experience, I had to agree. I had to start making affirmations saying, I want to be happy. I want to be treated good. I want to feel joy. I don't want to feel pain anymore. Like, literally. It was crazy realizing that all the pain I endured in those relationships was because of me. It was because I wanted it. It was because I was subconsciously manifesting it. And so, I'm just going to say that you meet a soulmate and it helps you on your path. Like, I really feel like meeting him was like the next step in my ascension, because the things that he's been bringing out of me, or the things that would have held me back on my ascension, I would have never known that these issues was going on. I needed that reflection. I needed to see that. And it wasn't just that, it was a lot of other things. He came into my life and he helped me embrace my heritage, my culture, um, being indigenous. And, I went through a phase where I was treated bad, and I I didn't appreciate being black or indigenous. I didn't appreciate, and he showed me that there was beauty in loving who you are, and loving not just who you are, but what you are in this creation, what body you decided to carnate in. And so I just really wanted to tell the truth about the soulmate relationship, because it is amazing, but it's a journey that you take with your soul. Your soulmate relationship is mating with your soul. See, if the person is your reflection, your mirror reflection, that soul is you. And so that's why it's a soulmate. And you mate with your soul and you go on a journey with your soul. And I started to see how this journey with him, his patience, his love, has healed me in so many ways. And, I'm so thankful for him. And I'm so thankful for this experience. And I definitely encourage everybody to manifest their soulmate, their one, because Before I was accepting people if they weren't, you know, as at my level of consciousness, or, you know, but I see now that it makes everything in the journey to be on this ascension journey together. It makes it amazing and beautiful, and it to have a conscious relationship where you're consciously working through problems, you're consciously working through issues, you're doing rituals together, you're setting intentions together, affirmation, meditation together. And it's a beautiful journey. You know, it's so beautiful. And I'm gonna end this now, but I've been wanting to share that. It wasn't quite how I was gonna talk about it, but it was something I definitely wanted to share. So, you know, and I had planned to come and talk about it because I know this played a big part in my vibration, realizing those things about myself. You know, it's been a journey healing from that, and I've come a long way than last year. You know, I'm no longer, you know, pushing him away, and I'm being more open and honest, and I'm trusting him with my feelings, and it's really blossoming into something really beautiful. And so I encourage everybody to love their soul and meet and mate with their own soul so that they can manifest their soulmate. Thank you for watching. Peace and love. Namaste.